Straight A student to mental breakdown. How perfectionism almost killed me. I was a straight A student, and my parents pushed me hard to get into a top university. I ended up at one of the best, but the pressure was intense. I had to maintain a high GPA to keep my scholarship, and my parents expected nothing less than perfection. I was studying 12 hours a day, barely sleeping, and my mental health was deteriorating. I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and depression, but I couldn't let my parents know. They had sacrificed so much for me to be there. I was on medication and seeing a therapist, but it wasn't enough. I was spiraling. I started having panic attacks during exams, and my grades were slipping. I was terrified of losing my scholarship and disappointing my parents. I was in a constant state of fear and anxiety. I was barely eating or sleeping, and I was losing weight rapidly. I was a shell of my former self. I was on the verge of a breakdown. I finally reached out to my therapist for help, and she told me I needed to take a break from school. I was terrified of what my parents would say, but I knew I couldn't keep going like this. I took a leave of absence and moved back home. My parents were disappointed, but they eventually understood. I spent the next year focusing on my mental health and getting back to a healthy place. I eventually went back to school, but this time on my own terms. I wasn't chasing perfection anymore. I was chasing happiness.